heart of fencing in America. It's Summer National Championships. It's the festival that takes place every 4th of July weekend. The very best athletes in the country are here contesting for the national championships. In the end, fencing is a martial art.
Fast, it's furious, it is a fight, it is mentally challenging, it is psychologically challenging.
You really have to be the best, and you have to show that you are the best and prove that you are the best.
And at 14-14, I loved that. But in fencing, a big mental challenge, I think, is not only are you losing, but someone's actually physically beating you. So I think it's hard. I think the mental challenge there becomes the issue of not only am I losing at this sport, someone's actually physically dominating me, and to fight back against that, I really just want to give up now because I'm getting beaten both on a scoreboard and physically. I loved winning one touch over the other person.
It's very important to be ready for the first touch, because if you're not, get a couple touches against you quickly, it really puts you in a hole. And it clearly affects your game tactically, but sometimes it affects people psychologically as well. And now they're not only trying to dig out from a true point advantage, but they can face with a psychological disadvantage as well.
Many times you have people on the Olympic level with the same athletic ability, but it's the people that have the mental toughness that makes you rise up against all the other competitors. So mentally, you have to be tough. You have to be able to just never give up.
I always wanted to go to the Olympics, so that was my goal. My goal from day one was to be like Peter, be like all the other Olympians that were there before me. Yes, Peter helped me a lot with my nerves. I would say the most beneficial exercise that he did with me is to close my eyes before the tournament and visualize all the things that could go wrong. So I was able to compete and go for things, meaning do certain actions that were risky, that took a lot of nerve to do.
When I was fencing Trellini, it was an honor. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. I wanted anything, everything. I would have given anything to have fenced her. I kept getting touch after touch. I was just focused on getting touches. That was it. Like, how am I going to get the next touch? How am I going to get the next touch? So I was very present in the moment. And then somehow I get the 15th touch. I mean, I could have kept going after that. That's the weird part, because I was just so intense about playing the game with her and going touch after touch that I wasn't even thinking about, okay, we're going 15.
My favorite moment was when 1984 Nationals in Chicago. I was the youngest person at the time ever to make a saber final, and that I got in the zone. That one moment where you can't do anything wrong, everything is in slow motion, everything you do is perfect, you see your opponent slow down, you can counter everything they do. I didn't even have to think about strategy, it was just there. No matter what I did, it worked.
I was fencing in the semifinals of the university games against Philippe Omnes of France, and the bout had been going back and forth. And out of the blue, I've got it on film, I did an action that nobody would have expected. He did an action, I just ducked. Went to complete squat, closed out the line and ducked. And it was just perfect. It's absolutely, no one expected it. It was one of those touches that I think a true champion can do something that no one expects. And that was my moment of being, maybe one of the few moments I was actually a true champion. I did something that no one in the gym could have thought about but me. And I solved it and it worked. It was fun.
When you're a master, when you're really a virtuoso at something, it's not about thinking anymore. It's not about doing. It's about feeling. It's about this idea of it just flowing through you. And I think that's very Zen in a way, because it's divorcing yourself from your mind and it's dissolving into the task that you're after.
The fact that I won a world championship at 14, I had no idea what that meant. How the hell did I go to Paris and win a tournament, win a world championship when no one else had ever won anything? Like, no American had ever won anything. I made grown men cry. They heard the national anthem for the first time. Like George Kolombadovich came up to me afterwards, and Michael Marks. And these are guys who have been in fencing for so many years. And Michael Marks was an excellent fencer. And I'm up on that podium and I'm listening to the national anthem. And Michael Marks is like tears running down his face. And I'm thinking, this is amazing. I've done something. I've done something.
My final bout in the Olympic Games, when I'm fencing for the medal, was interesting because no one has won a medal before that in 1984 since 1960. This is not just for me, it's for the American fencing, it's for the coaches, it's for my coach, it's for America, it's for black people that I know. So how did I feel? Scared as hell. It was so euphoric, it was so grand, it was so unbelievable. I savored and enjoyed every moment, every touch.
To me, fencing is beautiful. You know, and it's beautiful to me because for 32 years I've been watching this sport and doing this sport, and I see the subtle actions or the subtle things that they do with their blade, with their feet, to set up a touch, you know, or I see a fencer give misinformation to their opponent and then just leave it out there, let it hang out in front of them for a while until they set it up again and do the same preparation or the same mistake, and then capitalize on their opponent's reaction because they know what their opponent is going to do. I mean, that's beautiful, you know, and I love watching actions like that.
You're either winning or you're losing, but you make that decision. You decide to get up in the morning and try to win, then you're going to win. Maybe not today, but eventually you keep plugging away at it, you will win. Or you'll be so satisfied where you finished that it's the same thing.
You can always use a metaphor for fencing in everything you do in life. Somehow it works out. It's amazing that way.